Welcome to Empress Empathic. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Today's message is the audacity of normalcy. Now, what do I mean by that? There are a lot of individuals out here who are under the impression that what they do is normal, when the larger collective surrounding them, the majority, knows for a fact it's not. For instance, you could be under the illusion of inclusion and believe that you are accepted by a certain group when in all actuality you're not. And the reason why you're not, it's not because of any mean girl or mean guy types of marginalization, but I'm talking about because what you do is not socially normal, okay? Fact that it's being thrown in people's faces and media, as well as music, as well as all kinds of content that you see across the internet, that's normal doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Those ideologies could be supported by an algorithm, a large corporation who's pushing this message out, or it could be a situation where that person is just a legend in their own mind. When you test whatever it is that you do abroad, and you find that people in other countries or various religions, for instance, are completely taken aback by what you do, call it demonic or whatever, that could be a litmus test to let you know that what you're doing is not normal. It's almost like, those American Idol auditions, right? You see some people going on there and they're absolutely brilliant and they have the best voice ever. And then you see some other people with the same audacity, the same arrogance, the same braggadociousness about them, and they're actually garbage. But because they're surrounded by friends and family and an echo chamber, they're under the impression that they are the best thing since sliced bread, when in all actuality, they get kicked off the show and laughed at and made into a meme. Now, the reason why this is important is because in this day and age, voting is coming up, amongst other things. And just in your daily life, we're starting to see cultural norms shift. And for those who are conservative, it could be frightening. And for those who are liberal, it could be liberating. The rest of us, normies, as I like to call us, we're sitting back saying, okay, a little too much from any side of the pendulum could reek into social unrest and havoc. Now, we don't want that for society, okay? We want a balanced medium and the feeling that, family values and just positivity still reign supreme. But here's the kicker. When you're in your own echo chamber and you are giving the impression that what you say is 100% factual, and then you go into a group like the larger group of the world, and people start to put you down and make you feel like, you're wrong, you need to ask yourself, am I wrong, or am I part of the pioneers pushing forward this new cultural shift? Now, there are two parts of this cultural shift. There are those of us who are from the positive light side, and then there are dark workers and the demonic side. There are those of us who are pushing a positive agenda that's all-inclusive, and then there are those who are pushing a negative, more sinister agenda, which is exclusive. You have to ask yourself which side you're on and act accordingly. Now, me personally, I'm on team lightworker. I have been since the day I was born. Unlike much of the population, I am considered an introvert. which means I have a much different outlook and trajectory for what I see as positive change than most of the population. Just because you're loud doesn't make you right. And just because you're popular doesn't mean that you really are. You could be an algorithm anomaly. You could also be paying for your subscriptions. You could also have large corporations behind you pushing an agenda. And it's up to you light workers to discern, who to follow and who to let lead. Now, there's also that category of karmic people in nature. Now, all of us have been karmic at some point, but those of us who are light workers, we kind of went through that stage and realized real quick that Holy Spirit's not playing with us. And we straightened up and flew right in our lives very quickly and have kind of stayed on that side ever since. Now, are we perfect? Hell no. We have our blips and bleeps and bloops. And, like every person on earth, we're still a work in progress. However, some of us lead a far less stressful life after we've gone through all of that karma, and we are now in dharma, and we get to rest and relax in who we are and not have to prove anything to anybody because we've earned this position. So the prophetic component in this message, the audacity of normalcy, has everything to do with arrests and a lot of social unrest leading to the election, as well as very popular individuals who are falling from grace. And it's going to be shocking, salacious, sad, depressing, hearing what these individuals have done behind the scenes while pretending to be normal like the rest of us. There are a lot of people who are in government, as well as people who are in the religious community. And I'm not just talking about the church. I'm talking about every single religion. There is good, there is bad, there is light, there is dark. And as light workers, most of us can discern right off the top what's what. And some of those demons, they hide themselves a little too damn good on television or on radio. And, put the veil over our eyes. But I'm just saying, in the next few months, it's going to be up to us to discern what's what. What will you allow your children to be subjected to? What will you allow your family to be a part of? And what is democratic